Broadcasting deep from the heart of Mordhaus, it's the only podcast discussing the world's most metal band. Get ready for Deathkast.
And welcome back to Deathkast, the only podcast broadcasting straight from Mordhaus, the home of the world's biggest cultural influence of all time, Dethklok. As always, I'm your host, Klokateer 616, and with me, providing brutal color commentary, my friend, my colleague, and my co-host, Klokateer 47. How you feeling today, bud?
Acceptable.
Acceptable? You ready to carry on in the name of Deathkast?
Yeah, actually, I'm pretty stoked to be back.
Well, a lot of shit happened from the finale of the first season of the doc to now. As we all remember, the ending of the first season, Dethklok was for the first time under fire in a tragic way at the Death Water show.
We are now in the middle of a record-setting global economic depression.
It has been months since the legendary metal band Dethklok was allegedly attacked by fans in the Gulf of Danzig.
Experts believe that these dangerous events have forced the band to completely reconsider public appearance.
It pains me that I do not have the ability to bring Dethklok back to the public, and therefore, I give you this.
This left the band feeling reclusive and moody and kind of afraid. I remember we were all confused at the thought of our masters feeling this way for the first time.
Yeah, there was a lot of time spent in their rooms, a lot of drinking, as usual, a lot of video game playing, a lot of fucking around in general, which leaves us to get reassigned.
Yeah, and in that moodiness, I feel like just different emotions grew in the band members that we probably haven't seen for a long time. They went back into the shadows to lick their wounds and recover. And while they did that, they continued to work on their merch. I know we got the time travel face bag last time, but now we got the crotch mace belt. Pure genius. I still have one.
You can cook a turkey with that shit.
It doesn't taste the best, but yeah, you can.
It's peppery.
The world was at a loss without
Robust.
Dethklok, though. At this moment, the world didn't know what to do without Dethklok. The stock market was falling. As we heard, even the president tried to commit suicide on live TV due to all the pressure he was under. The world was on fire, and only the clock could save us. And luckily, Oftenson had a plan, booking a show for the boys I don't think they could have turned down.
They're calling it a 21-gun suicide salute by coinciding their official return to the public with the biggest single act of capital punishment in recorded history.
These prisoners are being called the worst of the worst, and they're all to be executed.
Criminals from as far away as Australia and Thailand have traveled here to be part of this event.
I consider it an honor to be killed before Dethklok. Dethklok rules. Kill me!
But some prisoners don't feel the same. The now famous cannibalistic baby murderer Alfred Belmer, known for killing and eating up to 274 babies and toddlers, had this to say.
Dethklok is scum! He's repulsive to the pit here, that's what he is. And so we wait, as all of the world does. Several hundred have died from heat stroke and dehydration, but still they wait.
They would end up playing that show in the Nevada desert at Lockhart Penitentiary, which is just south of Las Vegas, and hundreds would be killed as they would be the executioners for criminals on death row. I remember watching the engineers create that laser spider walker, as they kind of nicknamed it, and I didn't have the heart to tell the designer that they jacked the design from the Will Smith movie. What was it?
Wild bag of shit.
Yeah, that movie with the giant spider.
Yeah.
The designer, I think, was just smoking too much and watching that movie over and over. And
I mean, it's terrifying.
it's terrifying, but dude, we jacked that idea.
Yeah, it was stupid.
It was really, really crazy. As these things go, there was carnage from start to finish. The band was slaying prisoner after prisoner, and for the first time, we actually saw Skwisgaar be the reason for the carnage unfolded, thanks to that trusty mace belt.
As with every fucking show, something has to happen, right?
Yeah, it's like the curse of Dethklok.
We kind of told them that, hey, maybe we don't wear them on while you're playing.
But you can't really tell these guys what to do at the end of the day.
You just mention it lightly.
Yeah, you try to just like incept the idea, but that's all you can hope for. They still wore it. Skwisgaar did what he did. They ended up causing the worst fucking prison break in the world. and released a lot of inmates, as you guys know, by destroying the wall with the spider walker. Pickles said this was a brutal, happy accident.
Yes, most brutal. Absolutely. It definitely, of all the areas, like, when things go straight to fucking chaos, is not the first time it's happened, but this was, that we really fucked up.
Yeah, and it was kind of nice, though. It was like a little bit of nostalgia for me to be at this show. Hold on.
I think...
Yeah, we have a call.
All right, you know what? You always answer this fucking thing. I'm gonna pick...
Who is it?
I'm gonna pick this up.
Who's on the line, though?
4456. Klokateer,
right.
4456. 1 second here. Klokateer, thanks for hopping on with us. It must have been an honor to be able to be one of the ones chosen to execute these fine citizens in the name of the clock. How were you chosen?
Look, I was never chosen. Okay, a radio man. What kind of Klokateer gets behind a mic anyway, man? Leave that to Dethklok, dude. But look, I'm not a chosen one. I had to work my way up to be an executioner. I had to work my way into Mordhaus. You see, I'm a marketing man, so I networked and finessed my way in. See, okay, I found a guy I went to school with is now a Klokateer. I worked the knowledge I had to get the position in. I didn't even know the guy. I just name dropped and threw in a fact or two, and now I'm fast tracked in. Then I hear the guy, you know, the one that I lied about. I hear he's asking questions. I take care of the situation, okay? See, I'm not chosen radio man. I make things happen.
All right, let's get one thing fucking straight. I'm not radio man. I'm Klokateer number 047, and I've been closer to the boys than you've ever even fucking smelled. So, first of all, let's go from here to here, bud. But fine, okay, fine then, fine. Tell me, how did you become an executioner? Finagle your way out of this one, you ass.
Everybody wanted this spot, man. Everyone. So as usual, a contest was announced. The most banana stickers wins.
Oh, all right. So what does one do to earn the banana stickers? What did they do?
Absolutely nothing. These slouches are as lazy as Forrest Whitaker's eye, man. I just simply snatched them up at nap time.
Very honorable of you to steal the banana stickers. Well, you were a really good shot in the field until everything started really going south. How did you get so good at guided missiles? Did you have previous military training? What?
Hell no. Nothing that low down, man. Nah. They set us up with simulators. It was boring. I mean, we all excelled immediately. So they stepped up the game with some VR goggles and knives. I mean, that was Pickles' idea to hand out knives to the guy while the VR goggles are covering our face. I mean, he was right. It was pretty funny. I mean, after a while, we lost 2 lives, and Pickles insisted we try out the missiles with some real practice dudes tied to it. He insisted that the weight differential would make a big difference in guiding those missiles. That was the key, the weight differential.
All right, so more like hands-on training. Gotcha. So walk me through that day then.
We were sworn in as real state executioners. We swore an oath and everything, and I don't know, man. If I'm gonna kill someone, I mean, like, I need to get something from it, right? I mean, I need to gain, so I don't know. I'm a little conflicted about pulling the trigger for somebody else, but anyway, radio man fuckface, it was televised. You saw how it went down.
Another snide remark. You're gonna let that one go. How many lives did you take that day?
Me, personally? My personal kill count? Yeah, I got 4 Klokateers, dude. I mean, I wonder who will take their spots. 418 prisoners? That was a record that day, of course, and I earned that record again. Earned. I got 13 prison guards. That stands for all prison guards are bastards, by the way. I got 154 fans, and, you know, I'm sorry to say, that's revenue out of Dethklok's pockets, so that's dues I'm gonna pay, and I apologize for that. But in my eyes, it was a total success, like this interview. It was a great success. So, bye-bye, radio man, and hail Dethklok.
Dick.
Yeah, you're not having the best of luck with your first phone call.
I'm gonna go ahead and let you get back on the phone before I fucking... All right.
Okay, I'll take the next one. Regardless of the prison break, the world's economy began to heal for the first time in well over a year with the reappearance of our masters. Dethklok was back.
And here lies the bloody aftermath of history's worst prison escape. I don't know if the country could ever come back from this horrible tragedy.
But stocks are climbing. A record turnaround for our economy, especially with a new Dethklok record on the horizon.
One thing that didn't heal was the band dynamic. When the band reemerged, they were thrown into a sense of caution. And I think, 47, we all remember the great guitar wars between Skwisgaar and Toki.
Oh my god. The biggest dick-wagging fest I've ever seen in my entire life.
It was a really awkward week. Like, that whole week was super tense. Effectively, on Mordhaus, there was some kind of civil war between the Klokateers, because you had some guys taking Toki's side, some guys taking Skwisgaar's side, and it was really uncomfortable. I didn't really even want to be a part of it.
No, it's tough to deal with shit like that, but fuck, guitar players.
Right, and I mean, Toki had begun feeling left out of the band, so he went out and ventured off to find a guitar teacher, finding that in a man oddly named Dimneld Seltkark. Now, Toki actually didn't learn a lot from this man, but I remember that whole week his confidence was sky high because of the support from him.
Right, up-leading before they had the big, what you call that, a ballad, a serenade,
the recital that he had?
Thank you.
That was awkward. I felt really bad for him having to go on stage, but it was nice to see everyone kind of make up as well. But during this whole time, Murderface was stretching his muscles as an asshole, and he was kind of stoking the fire, which is what he does in his nature. But the rest of the band followed in suit, and it got really uncomfortable for everyone. At this time in the band's history, it was really shaky, and they eventually forgave each other, but we started to truly notice Toki for what he really is.
Right, a fantastic rhythm guitar player.
It was around this time, I remember a lot of us Klokateers actually going missing. The Klokateers had tracking chips on them, but for some reason they got removed before their bodies left the grounds. Something was not only watching us, something was now attacking Mordhaus. And at this time, Oftensen had begun the Omega Initiative. It was a plan to save us from the darkest of times that would send agents out into the field to gather more intel on the coming threat. The band did get back in the saddle and began working more on new music, and found something truly special in their boredom with their current mix. So as they always do, they found a solution by throwing money at it.
Right.
Obviously, they went down to the science wing, which was abuzz for years with new technologies, but we got a glimpse of the future. 47, we got water.
We've been working on several new prototypes: hover drums, laser string guitars, electronic STD radar navigational dildo helmets.
What we're most proud of is the HEARD.
Hydro, electronic.
Oh.
Hydro, you say the next word.
Electric.
Audio.
Recoordinational.
Device. We say device together. Remember, we worked it out this way.
Hydro, no, you.
Electronic, no, you.
Hydro.
No, you go to the
You
next
say hydro.
Oh, hydro.
Electric.
Audio.
Recoordinational. Device. To put it plainly, we're recording on the purest analog format of all. Pure.
Sorry.
Pure.
Sorry.
I was saying pure.
Sorry.
Pure.
Sorry, I didn't know. I'm not a mind reader.
H2O.
2 portions hydrogen, 1
portion oxygen.
I was going to say the whole thing myself. I thought we agreed. I was going to say that part.
Continue.
2 portions hydrogen, 1 portion oxygen.
Equals
pure
water.
Pure water.
Water.
Yes. And to which we will be soon recording an album.
That's impossible!
Oh dear.
This is a laboratory where the impossible becomes
the impossible possible, if anything.
It's our job to render.
Yeah, all right. Anyway, and even though the environment was fucked every time we recorded, and it cost millions, I think it was worth it, man. It sounded fucking great.
Yeah, the quality could not be matched on water. At the same time, I remember the UN backing the sale and theft clause in our user agreement for Dethklok's music, which essentially gave Mordhaus the right to police the world for anyone stealing our music. It was a great time to be alive, but ironically, we were setting the stage for our own enemies.
Right. And I think that, you know, there's definitely something to be said about not understanding what you're doing, but you getting into the idea that you would be able to steal anything from the largest influencer in the world is I'm not fucking picking it.
Are you not picking it?
No,
okay.
I'm not.
I'll do this interview.
Maybe later.
It must have something to do with what we're talking about. Thank you guys for listening live, by the way, at Mordhaus. So, Klokateer, tell me, what is your name and what is your station here at Mordhaus?
I am Klokateer 6667, head of the Mordhaus prison complex.
And 6667, what can you tell us about your position and maybe some of the tasks you're involved with on the day-to-day?
I was anointed head of general prison operations almost 6 months ago after the previous head of ops was beheaded in a freak interior design accident. I am the 233rd Klokateer to assume this role and have overseen a 1,500% increase in our total holding capacity since the passage of the anti-piracy laws.
Wow, I guess it's true what they say. Size does matter. So tell me about some of the challenges in maintaining an operation of this size.
Since its inception, our operation has been streamlined to run as efficiently as possible. Lord Motorface directed us to use certain frivolous expenditures, like food and mattresses, to better outfit our gallery of medieval torture instruments.
See, now that does not surprise me. That is fucking metal.
Indeed. We torture up to 250,000 people every hour of every day. I have sympathy for the devil, but our operation is much more efficient. For just 5 cents per person per day, we can brutalize and maim more people than China.
You know, if we still have that kid in there from Wisconsin, I would love to offer to sponsor his torture. Is that still a thing?
Perhaps. Just ask them to illegally download some Dethklok, and it will be done that day. We can mobilize response teams anywhere on the planet in less than 15 minutes.
Interesting, okay. So are there any notable prisoners right now that we have in Mordhaus?
Mostly no-name dildos. We have jailed a few minor celebrities, a religious figure, and several politicians. They receive special treatment. Extra torture. I cannot reveal names or specifics due to a blood oath, but I assure you, everyone who arrives here is thoroughly violated.
You know, I haven't spent much time down there in the prison. Can you go into detail on some of the methods you use for torture?
The largest collection of medieval and Spanish Inquisition torture devices on Earth, as well as a multi-billion-dollar R&D department designing cutting-edge punitive technologies, exploring how to deliver the greatest amount of pain to a human, as humanly possible. Lord Motorface is especially fond of our work, and insists on assisting our efforts regularly.
Wow, okay, I didn't know Murderface had that much of a hand in the torturing process. Do you get to interact with him on a daily basis much?
I seldomly have the honor, but have helped him operate several lasers in the past. I apologize. I must attend to my duties once more. They're about to unload a bus full of frat boys, and I must warm up the testicle atomizer. Thank you.
No. Thank you, Klokateer 6667, and thank you for your service to the Great Klok.
Yeah, Murderface definitely likes spending a lot of time down there. I mean, I never really asked what the fuck he was doing, because it just made him happy, and that's all that really mattered to me. But things felt like normal. That was cool. Problem was, with the threat of another attack looming on the horizon, it was natural for Dethklok to feel a sense of distress, but rather than really acknowledge that threat, they chose to acknowledge their feelings, their loneliness, like they always do, but they had reached such a height of fame that they no longer felt like regular old dildos. They missed having people to pal around with, aside from each other, feeling like rats in a cage, douchebags staring at them all day.
Oftenson, seeing this, decided to kill 2 birds with 1 stone by hiring body doubles for the band to ensure their safety. These doubles both served in entertaining the boys, but also taking their place at comet events that were seen to be beneath Dethklok. I remember being really suspicious of these doubles, 47.
Yeah.
They seem to wander off a lot and try to escape spending time with the boys. Who the fuck would do that?
I don't get it. Like, I mean, I wasn't necessarily looking for them, but they're fucking everywhere. And if he's gonna go out there and, God forbid, actually play music, I didn't know of, like, is this guy gonna actually play on stage?
Right.
So, I mean,
they were just hanging around and creeping around, but they didn't ever want to spend time with anybody, which, I don't know, it just felt weird to me.
Super sus.
I, for once, would want more time with Nathan.
Yeah, and, you know, rolling into that, too, is like right at the time they're about to play that crazy-ass fucking gig at the top of the inactive volcano.
Yeah, on the island of Sumatra. I remember that gig.
That's how.
Didn't you set up for that?
Yeah, definitely. I mean,
you helped with the bass rigs and stuff?
Helped with the bass rigs a lot. Dude, fucking riding in a helicopter over a volcano, tight.
Oh, dude, I'm jealous. I remember being there, but I never got to help set up.
Now, as we got all this shit up there, though, this is when we lost the doubles, which actually, the one that was Murderface was cool fucking guy.
Yeah,
pretty cool.
He was actually pretty cool.
Cool fucking dude. But, we're at the top of the volcano, Duncan Hill's coffee, yet again. Chaos ensues, though.
Yeah.
50,000 gallons of coffee got dumped into this thing, man. Made it boil.
I honestly didn't see this coming. We should have. Hindsight being 2020, maybe we shouldn't have used a volcano, but it was the most metal thing.
Everything that we've ever done in this band is not a good idea, but it's been awesome.
The most metal things to ever exist. And with that massive eruption effectively killing thousands of people, the doubles got like severely burned as we saw in the documentary. That was honestly... That was a good time.
It was honestly one of the sickest shows I've ever seen.
I think it's impossible to talk about Dethklok anymore without continuing to address how they venture out into other genres and art forms, just as we saw in the last season of the documentary. I think one of the biggest shows that really changed how the band saw these ventures was the infamous Dethklok Death Fashion bloodbath in Milan that year. The sheer brutality of the killings in the crowd was enough to show that Dethklok belonged in the world of fashion. And that was where I got to hear my favorite song, Cemetery. I think it perfectly was like a cherry on top of the bloodbath.
It's a fantastic track.
Now, we have a very special treat for you guys on the phone right now, on the line, all the way from the Berlin Maximum Security Detention Center, the infamous and mysterious Mr. Eric Von Weichlinghammer, everyone. Thank you. So, Mr. Von Weichlinghammer, obviously, things did not go according to plan when you worked with Dethklok. Do you have any regrets?
Lustig. The betrayal would seem to be one crucial to my evolution. For that, I do owe them a debt of gratitude. You see, my absence from prison was a bignang de game. Vacation, if you will. Upon my return to incarceration, I experienced a renaissance of my life's work, crafting garments for only those worthy of my art. I do have one regret in regards to working with Dethklok, however. Having my eyes bear witness to the sight of their flesh, stuffed like so much offal inside my creations. I still dream of feeding the mushroom-headed one as a bratwurst to the gluttonous Vienna sausage festival chancellor.
Ah, I see. Well, despite the controversy, you're still allowed to design clothes from inside the Berlin Maximum Security Detention Center. Does that mean you're working on a new fashion line? And if so, what can we expect?
I am pleased to announce I will be releasing a new line of clothing only available to the rare few that would have the prowess to display the epitome of the human form. It is a collection made purely of vegan leather, ethically sourced from within the prison zone, Kuchenleichenschauhaus.
Eric, I'm afraid I don't speak German, so is that like the prison garden?
There are no gardens in Langstrafen and Stalt. The best translation would be your standard European kitchen morgue. You see, I convinced the guards to feed my fellow inmates on a diet I put David Bowie on for an album cover, strictly consisting of peppers and cocaine. Unfortunately, the fat white duke cheated and consumed milk. Very disappointing, very fattening. You'd be fascinated to know how quickly one loses weight. All their weight when feasting their vile lives on nothing but nightshade and cocaine. I now have all the vegan leather required to unveil my line, and, while not legally endorsed by them, it was inspired by the track of Dethkloks that drove me to carry on. I call it Backpfeifengesicht. A face in need of a feast. Comes in size 0 and below.
0 and below. Interesting. Well, we will keep our eyes and ears peeled for that. Tell me, in the time you did work with Dethklok, what was the impression that you got of them?
Despite their obvious shortcomings of being liars and unable to attain their own ideals, their attitude towards sending me back to prison was one of hesitancy and regret, they admitted. They are my only clients who ever considered me a good pal. Dare I say, I would have to consider them good pals too. Except for that dickly fuck murderface. His visage still haunts me.
Well, it's good to hear that you don't hold a grudge, I suppose. Thank you again for your time, Eric. Any final words for our listeners?
There are fat tummies sitting with bags of chips in front of their television, daring to say that the thin are unattractive. I only want to show them that my fashion is about their screams and illusions, and one day vomit in the widest mouths of the world that they may be sustained solely on my bile.
Oh my fuck, dude, that guy's super weird.
Yeah, I'm surprised that they still let him make clothes after everything, to be honest. And I'm also surprised we even got him on the show.
Jesus Christ.
Thanks again, Mr. Von Weichlinghammer, for your time.
I would be fine never hearing from him ever again.
You know, I would too, but I'm still glad we got him on.
Yeah.
Now, as this season is concerned, it's one of experimental choices and new experiences for the band, and we see Pickles go through a lot. He's pretty much forced to attend his brother Seth's wedding. Now, I don't know if you remember that guy. He's a total fucking douchebag.
Total douchebag.
Fucking asshole. He does everything he can to try to get his grubby little hands on Pickles' money. And I think it just started taking a toll. I honestly can't believe we made him the head of Dethklok Australia. I remember being out in Wisconsin, and we had to call Klokateer 420, who happens to be our drug liaison for the band, just to deliver party favors for Pickles. He could barely make it through that wedding.
Yeah, no, that was wild, to be honest. Like, that dude's a party.
It was fucking brutal. We also got to hear a song that was never actually put on a Dethklok album. That they played for the wedding.
Yeah, one of the smaller gigs, obviously, a little bit more intimate.
Yeah.
Very easy setup.
Yeah.
But yeah, hearing new fucking jams, always awesome.
It was pretty fucking cool. I'm sad that we didn't get to see that one on an album, but it just falls under the dozens of Dethklok songs that we'll never really hear.
Right.
It is a shame. After the wedding, I feel like he kind of threw himself back into drinking and drugs, making him more susceptible to manipulation.
Right.
At that time, you remember he was everywhere because of his new PR rep, former cult leader Liz Bain, who actually headed up the Exodus PR firm. That lady, you want to talk about creeps?
Oh my God.
Yeah, that lady creeped me the fuck out. And for a brief time in the band's history, Pickles was everywhere. Every award show, every fucking game show, everything on TV had Pickles' drunk ass face plastered.
What made me feel really weird is because of all people, Pickles has become a recluse the most often. So to see that man plaster everywhere and start to really, it wasn't coming out of his shell. It felt just fucking weird.
It was super forced. I remember we were like really suspicious of Liz Bain. She was cold and calculating. Didn't really seem that metal.
Totally unbrutal.
Oh yeah. You gonna answer that?
All right, I'll fucking.
Here, if you want me to do the interview, just answer it for me. I believe we have a Klokateer on the line that may have a story involved about what we're talking about.
Here.
Thanks for calling. So tell me, Klokateer 11254, what were things like in Mordhaus once Pickles went on his press tour?
To be perfectly honest,
It was a bit of a mixed bag. For one thing, cleanup duties drastically dried up. I'm not saying the Pickles was the sole reason we had a team of 35 Klokateers on constant trash pickup around band's living quarters. But let's just say we had to divert 34 of them to Dethklok's new promotional street team because there just wasn't nearly enough for them to do. And standing around is not an option as a gear. As the saying goes, if you got time to lean, you're shit-canned. That's where the downside comes in. Nathan, Murderface, and Squizgar's foray into the PR world was a fucking nightmare. Not only was it more disorganized than Planet Piss, it rubbed a lot of folks the wrong way. Poor Toki. Worst part was the billboards they commissioned. Normal billboards advertising absolutely nothing are pretty common, so it should have been cake. Ooh, wrong-o. So it should have been cake. Wrong. They requested them to be made of cobalt, one of the heaviest metals on Earth. So once a smelting factory was erected to accommodate their design, the street team was sent out to install them explicitly where nobody was advertising. Lost a lot of good gears on that assignment, and Oftenson just let it happen. I honestly thought he was butthurt that the band ignored his abilities.
I see, and did Mordhaus have any idea of the danger Liz Bane would place Dethklok in?
That's where it gets weird. Obviously, we got a succubus vampire-y vibe, but Oftenson, who never addressed us outside of scheduled announcements, came to our daily Klokateer brief, visibly shaking, and issued each of us a dossier on her, and an unheard of band exclusionary NDA. We were forced to sign it upon pain of, more pain. This fucking thing was not a pamphlet either. It was a leather-bound tome on her atrocities. Now, I don't use that word lightly because Dethklok isn't necessarily squeaky clean when it comes to, what's a polite way to put this? Mass, no. Extensive, no. Innumerable, untimely, unfortunate, expirations. Ooh, yeah, that shouldn't get me fired. Good. So, in the dossier, we found out this wholesale executioner made Pol Pot look like Mr. Rogers. Stalin was fucking Funshine Bear in comparison. You see, most cult leaders take out only those they can dupe into their following with an outside casualty here or there. Fuck, man. Jim Jones killed just one congressman and like 4 others, and he decided to call it quits. She got a group in the 70s to stab and slaughter civilians 4-fold in broad daylight, and somehow she was able to coast decades later into our oasis and use their clout to expand her methods. While we didn't know her exact details, our global Dethklok news monitor number 6643 texted us their schedule, updates, and crude worried face emojis. Half our death phones caught fire because those things were not designed to be used more than like 10 minutes a day. The burn ward enjoyed the company though.
I guess I was called out that day because I didn't know until I was watching the Dethklok Minute that anything was even off. So wait, with that suspicion, we still didn't stop Dethklok from playing that concert? Why was that?
The fucking NDA Charles made us sign, man. It was pants-shittingly haunting. The usual threats of torture were completely bypassed, and it went straight to the heavy guns, like nuclear versions of medieval methods. My best friend, number 761, was made an example of for just saying, "Excuse me," to Squizgar when he bumped into him in the hallway, because the newly recruited NDA enforcement team thought he was going to speak to him about it, and swiftly got extracted. The Klokateer greeted us with his intestines hung from the ceiling, spelling out, "Speak not a word, or we shall be next." Alive, mind you. He was hooked up to a life support machine that looked like an old flashing motel vacancy arrow. I didn't even know our guts were that legible. We all just had to bite our tongues, and number 976413 actually bit his off. He was worried he was going to spill the beans. Ironically, it fell into a literal pot of beans being heated up for dinner. Hate to admit, not the worst thing we've been served. Just spongy. Besides, we never questioned the band's decisions, even if we knew brutality was inevitable. Like always.
That's what that was. I thought that was a shitty birthday prank. I guess I gotta update my dating profile to mostly not a cannibal. Well, we sure are fortunate the comet missed the band. Is there anything else from that day that you can remember?
Fortunate or calculated dumb luck. So those billboards were more responsible for her failure than anything. Other than possibly causing the Oasis shuttle crash, their placement was seemingly innocuous. But our expert metallurgist and meteoriticist gears held an extensive moratorium on that event, and only just released their findings. So get this. That metal Dethklok PR made us forge the billboards out of is, hold on, I got it here.
Get to the point, man.
God damn it.
It's a paramagnetic superconductor. And those meteors were found to be made of... Hold on, man.
Fuck, bro. Dude, get your shit together.
They were basically pure fucking magnets. I don't know the science of this shit, man, but the billboards pulled the meteors directly to them and boom, splat, smash. Dethklok is still alive. I have no idea why it worked, but it just did. Science, luck, fate. Who gives a fuck? We still got our jobs, and Dethklok still fucking rules. Also, I swiped a gallon of that grape aid those dillweeds didn't finish. Saving that for a rainy day if any of you asshats decide to cross me. Just a little splishy splash in your mouthwash and it'll look like you had a cavity in your cyanide tooth. No questions asked. Not that I'd ever do that to either of you. Totally off topic, but which bathroom was your 616?
What the fuck?
Time to move.
Did I cross him at some time?
Nah, just fucking weirdos are gonna be weirdos.
First the boss man is up my ass. Now this. Okay.
Time to move.
Well, on a more lighter note, I guess.
Do you have any some more? Let's go fun.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I'll talk about my favorite memory from this season of the documentary.
There we go.
I think it was probably the Amazon trip. You remember that? That was
fucking barely.
That was fucking crazy. Now we prepped for weeks and we packed that ship to the gills. The trip itself was a little over a week. I had a great time, and it was worth it to see the boys finally meet the Yanamango, and for Nathan to kind of get in touch with his roots a little bit more, and also for them to take their spirit journey.
Right.
We lost a lot of good Klokateers that day, getting that ship over the mountain, and a shit ton more to Jungle Rot, and even more to a separate local tribe that we had actually run into halfway through the trip. But all in all, it was still a fun trip. I got to take a cruise. I even got to work on my tan a little bit.
Right. And while the boat was operative until we were had to pull it over a fucking mountain, I got to hang out a little bit. And Murder Fice got those. Remember those parasites, dude?
Yeah.
Obsessed with them, right?
Mm-hmm.
Got him his dick.
Yeah, he didn't want to let him go.
Yeah,
it is weird.
You know why? think he thinks it helped him play bass better.
Oh, that's fucking weird.
I don't know.
He already plays bass with his dick. Maybe it did. Who am I to judge?
Listen, I don't know anybody else who plays bass with their dick. So if Parasites helps playing with your dick bass, then that's fine.
Yeah.
That guy's already fucking disgusting.
The boys met the tribe, and honestly, I think they were kind of made aware.
Got rid of those. I hope he got rid of those.
I don't think he did, to be honest. I bet you he still has them. I bet you he still has them. It's probably burrowed deep in his balls. Let's be real. It's Murderface. The guy barely showers. Like, come on. Is he going to get rid of parasites? No. I bet if they're gone, they probably slip something in his food. Let's be real with each other.
All right.
Like I was saying, they met the tribe, and they were made aware of how special that they were. The tribe even treated them to Yopo. And in that Yopo trance, they actually wrote bloodlines. That was one of the funnest little, like, pop-up gigs that we ever got to be a part of.
It was actually a really sick show. I mean, playing it in, like, a temple. I don't even know what you would call that, but it was a late night. It's a lot of fucking fun. Trip some balls.
Yeah, I remember tripping balls, and I was a beaver. I don't know what your spirit animal was. I was like a metal beaver with like spiky tail and like 5 teeth. It was weird.
I didn't take the same stuff you did.
No? Hey, I'm glad we at least got to keep some Yopo. It was a fun trip.
I mean, hey, dude, we've been live for a while, and just like before, I've been seeing this phone ring, ignoring it, seeing the phone ring, picking it up. But in between, I've again amassed a lot of voicemails, man. Do you want to go? We have a lot of them, like front to back. Do you want to get through some of these?
Is it that time? Are we hitting the Deathcast voicemail?
I mean, we got plenty of time, but there's so many of these motherfuckers calling in that I might as well take a few of them, huh?
Yeah, you guys have been calling in the entire show here, listening to us live, whether you're at Mordhaus or not. We appreciate you. Thanks for calling. We're going to hit the voicemail real quick. Let's listen to some, I guess they're fans.
I'm trying to come around to the phone, so I guess I'll fucking hear.
My fucking baby was eaten by that fucking child killer, all thanks to Dethklok. WTF?
Hi, this is Rachel, Nathan. You never called me back, and I've been waiting a really long time, actually. I don't know if you just like lost my number or what, but if you could just call me back. I don't know what I did wrong. I just really want you to call me back, please.
The only way to stop the voices is with the music.
Dethklok is the only reason I'm still alive. I love you, Squizgar.
My Uncle Bobby was broken out of prison by Dethklok. How metal is that?
Hi, this is a message for Klokateer 616. This is Steven at Donnie's Video Hut. The following titles are now considered late and overdue. Backdoor Patrol 4, Thunder Pussy, The Tale of Donna Sherman, Meatball Weapon 2, and Mona Lisa Smile. Please return these at your earliest convenience. Late charges have already been applied. Thank you.
Oh, le vache, I cannot stand the Murderface. What a dick.
Death Album 2 was the pivotal point in our musical history, man, okay? By mixing their brutality with the complexities of their being, Dethklok broke free to a new realm of understanding. It's truly brutal.
Hi, I just wanted to leave a message for Toki. He beat my douchebag straight-edge stepbrother to death. Thanks.
I tell you what, Murderface ended up making NASCAR metal. He just took a bunch of lives to do it. Their music keeps getting better and better, kid. I can't believe it. It's so fucking addictive.
Yeah, this is... I'm just calling because, I'm a really big fan of the band. Nathan, it's Rachel. I'm saying just call me back, please. I don't know.
Hey! Hey, you like rock and roll? You know why I'm asking you that? Because I'm Becca's a drummer. And I'm drunk right now. I'm drunk in public. I'm drunk in public right now. I hope you don't arrest me, Mr. Fucking Pigs. I'm drunk in public. I'm drunk in public and I'm Becca's a drummer. You know what I mean? You know what I mean, Blondie? You got cool jacket on. I like your style. I think you're pretty cool. Hey, Blondie, I think you're pretty cool.
being a female Klokateer has its challenges. The other day I was hanging out in a milk league and he got too close, so the HR assumed he was harassing me. Zap. Shock wasn't too bad, but he tripped and fell in the sewers. Anyway, it's a good thing I had my death belt with me.
Sure, their second album was a lot more complex, but I'm just way more a fan of the first album. I mean, some would say I'm a purist.
Nathan Explosion dated my aunt for like 3 days. I'm still in shock. Oh my god.
Hey, this is Klokateer 131, stationed at Mordhaus Security, and I just want to know why the fuck you haven't had any female Klokateers on this shit yet. I've been calling in for 20 minutes and I can't get through. It's just Facebone's stupid fucking voicemail saying that we'll be right with you, but no one is ever with me. You guys just leave me on fucking hook. What's with that? You know how many fucking female Klokateers there are here that want to be represented? But here you are talking to shit like Rachel. What the fuck does Rachel know? She doesn't know anything about this shit. Whatever, Dethklok, fuck you.
Yeah, I joined 5 years ago. Dethklok returned to my country for the first time, and I just couldn't be far from them again. I miss my wife and kids, but sacrifices must be made. And now I only think of their freshly removed, still beating hearts in my hands like once a week, which means I'm finally getting over it.
What the fuck is going on?
See, that's why, I mean, like, it's fun to put them in the voicemails.
Dear God, you've been collecting the worst voicemails. I forgot I had videos out for rent.
Yeah, some of these have definitely been personal lines that I think we have kind of some sort of... Anyways.
I'm sorry to that one Klokateer for putting you on hold. We used to date. I didn't really want to talk to her. I'm sorry. God, that was awkward. I was only expecting voicemails for us. Pickles fucking was somewhere drunk.
Right. No, this is not news. This has all been happening quite a bit. You know, I just thought it'd be, they keep calling, so I got to put them somewhere. Now we can delete them.
We got to get rid of them sometime.
Now, to get us back into where we were talking about before, at this point in like our timeline, this is when it was brought up that not unlike what Pickles' PR move made him a bit larger, Nathan's rabid fans started asking for him to have his special day.
Ooh, the Floridians. Yes, I do remember this. The governor denied them to have a state holiday and people went crazy.
A political crisis looms in Florida as Governor Kip Slaughter is on the ropes after making disparaging remarks against Nathan Explosion.
State holidays are not given out for nothing. This Nathan Explosion is a rock musician, not a politician or war hero. Any proposal for any state holiday concerning this man will be vetoed by me, I assure you. I believe Nathan Explosion is a disgrace to the great state of Florida.
Florida was in a state of anarchy, and the president was calling for Nathan to say something to save the governor from his rabid fans.
What am I supposed to be saying? Hey, what am I supposed to be saying? Hey, what am I? Oh, right. The governor. He said that I shouldn't have a holiday or something. Him, right? That guy.
Oh my God! I don't believe this! I have never seen a sight like this! Hacking away at the governor, tearing pieces off him, and there is the name Dildo written on the poor governor's forehead. The headless corpse, ladies and gentlemen, the governor is dead.
Riots and violence have hampered the special election due to the murder of Governor Kip Slaughter. Gangs of rabid fans are insisting on Nathan Explosion for governor.
Lord Explosion was voted as Florida's newest governor thanks to a write-in vote, and I remember 47, we were all pretty excited because we went from being employees and followers and worshipers of the world's biggest cultural influence to governors, like assistants and employees for the government now. It was a very exciting change.
I mean, honestly, I wasn't that stoked with getting into government bullshit just as much as I don't think Nathan was at the top either.
Yeah, even Squizgar wasn't either, but the perks for him is what sold it. Pretty sick perks, dude. Yeah, they had a lot of fun. I remember going out with Pickles and the Chinese ambassador and having way too much fun. Not really supposed to talk about it, though. I did sign an NDA, so that's all I'll get into.
Whatever Lord Pickles does stays in the pickle lair.
But I will say this, Nathan and the boys made Florida as metal as possible in literally like under a week. I remember they put Murderface in charge of the National Guard and
Oh yeah,
pretty
dude,
much
see,
fucked that
yeah.
shit up.
I had government clearance, bro, because I had to take base shit around. It was wild.
After about a week, though, it was like the worst anarchy Florida had ever seen.
Definitely got my government card revoked.
Yeah, even before he became governor, this was way worse. The anarchy to Florida and the chaos and the sheer brutality that the state saw, like, no one was going to make it through that.
It's Florida.
Yeah. The boys seeing this, though, like, tried to do what they could and throw a benefit concert for the Floridians. But, of course, being as powerful as they are, naturally, through astral projecting their forms into a storm, they summoned the great killing hurricane we know now as Scrambles the Death Dealer. That was unexpected, to say the least.
Yeah, no one ever wants a natural disaster.
Yeah.
Actually, wait a second. I remember my government. I got a government line calling right now.
Oh, is it the one we had scheduled? Mm-hmm. All right, hold on. Joining us today is the administrator of the Weather Bureau while Nathan was governor of Florida to speak about his tenure there, Mr. Vick Vickonian.
Just let's go with Vick.
All right, Vick, got it. Firstly, did you know the ex-governor Kip Slaughter at all?
I did. And the voters' recall couldn't have happened at a better time. While corruption, greed, and fraud are not only acceptable, they're the foundation of Florida's government even. Slaughter took it too far by denouncing our most prideful descendant in the face of overwhelming support. Also, he hit on my sister at a fundraiser. Fuck that guy.
Indeed, he does sound like a real dick. So tell me, once Nathan won by write-in, what was it like working with him through the tragedy that was Hurricane Scrambles the Death Dealer?
Governor Explosion was a godsend to this cesspit and our institution. Now initially, I was skeptical when he suggested we destroy the hurricane. A hurricane he allegedly summoned by impeaching God, allegedly. And while controlling weather is impossible, I soon realized his political acumen. You can't be corrupted by bribery when money literally means nothing to you. You can think outside established protocols in times of crises, instead of wasting precious time worrying about optics and votes. He gave us our two most powerful weapons, a proper naming system and a
Vic, we didn't catch that last part. I think your phone was cutting out. What was that?
Decimating the population. He weeded out the weak shits that wouldn't have survived in a light sprinkle. Helped our census out a lot too, but really the more important weapon was a naming system. We used to have the wimpiest dipshit names for the most destructive storms, and no one took our warning seriously. Honestly, Wilma, Floyd, Andrew. Devastating to all those in their paths. But why? Who the fuck thinks an Andrew is gonna kill them? No one. That's who.
Oh yeah, those names suck. I used to beat my barber named Floyd with his own broom when he wouldn't let me drink that delicious blue comb stuff.
Exactly. So when Scrambles matched the devastation to its title, the real survivors woke up. Now instead of a puny-sounding Devon or Glenn that we would normally get by pointing randomly into a baby name book, we instituted the GNENSFRBWTETWKYDA, or the Governor Nathan Explosion naming system for really bad weather type events that will kill your dumbasses. Remember a couple years ago when Hurricane Otep, the multi-generation ender, plowed through Miami? Now, instead of killing thousands and being completely sunken into the ocean, it's just underwater as a popular tourist attraction. Miami 2, city of Fatlantis. Even Tropical Storm Corpiclani, bringer of torture, drainer of all booze, could have eliminated every last one of Tampa's breweries and beer reserves. They heeded the warning and moved their facilities north. creating the newly founded township of Tampsacolanama Bitch City, home of the award-losing Taint Sack Stew IPA.
A truly heinous brew, but better than no booze at all. Would you say that Governor Explosion made Florida better in your opinion then? Not that it could get much worse, anyway.
Without a doubt, he made it the best version it could ever have wished to become. Hell, we can even predict weather events 23 days and 4.8 hours earlier than any other system in the nation thanks to permanently being on Dethklok savings time. Setting the clocks back 557 hours was a brutally genius way to gain advantage over the other states' lack of ingenuity. Take that, you Peachtree stump humpers.
Wow, I had no idea his political legacy was this influential long after. Does this mean you think he'd be able to fix the nation by running for president one day?
President? What do you think he is? Some sort of sellout? Shame on you. Hail Explosion and fuck.
All right, fuck that. I don't want to listen to that. Thank you for your time, Vin. Thank you for calling in. But let's
Slow talking Florida man.
Show some respect. All right, man. This season also did.
Thanks, Vick.
Vick. I appreciate you. You have a horrible name. This season also did a lot to showcase the best and the worst of each band member, I feel like. In this season, William Murderface got to throw some event for himself. We all know why. He was feeling kind of moody one day. Didn't get his cock solo, we'll call it, on the news.
Right. Yeah. When you take the spotlight away from the Lord.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He does not react well.
No.
He's full of chaos and anger. What do you expect? So he decided to have a NASCAR-type theatrical hybrid event. And the media quickly took wind of this. Everyone was really excited about it. No one really knew what it was.
No, lots of calls, lots of questions, lots of shit, press conferences.
Yeah, there was a lot going on. He didn't handle it too well. I mean, Oftenson tried his best, but it's Murderface, man. He's not the best at taking the spotlight. In my opinion, he wants it so much, but when he gets it, I don't know if he knows what to do with it. That's why he's a great bass player, because he's just there supporting.
Listen, you're treading ground here.
I apologize.
All right.
He's gonna kill me, folks.
All
right. No, this event was, I don't know, it was different. I remember working it and still being confused the whole time.
Well, NASCAR type theatrical hybrid event.
Yeah.
What does
that even mean?
Still don't really know what happened.
Right.
The entire time there really it was a type event. There really wasn't any type of music really going on. I didn't have to set up any gear.
One song, half of a song, really.
Wasn't. Yeah, not nearly. We didn't know how to we don't know what this is. We didn't know how to set up. We didn't know how many amps. We didn't know if we needed to have tracking. It didn't matter.
Right.
So.
You weren't doing a lot of sound stuff on that.
No, dude. Guy from the green car. What's his fucking name? Max Azillion Wheel Laser.
Yeah.
I remember it now. That's it.
He seemed pretty cool. Were you?
Now, they're all not. See, he had some shit in the green room. You know what I'm saying?
Ooh.
It was fun.
Yeah, you hung out with him?
I didn't have anything else to do.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, not important. But after that, the Wizard was cool. Everyone was fucking cool. I don't know if the event was cool. I don't really know what the event was still.
Yeah, it was fun for a good second, but as we know now, it quickly went off the rails and turned into a regular old Murderface disaster. Oh, well, hold on. I think we have a call. I'm hoping this has to do with what we're talking about.
All right, I'll grab it. I'll do it. I'll do it again.
You sure?
I'll fucking... So tell me, Klokateer, did you have a story to tell about the infamous Death Race event?
I do. I'm one of only 13 besides Dethklok who escaped that event. The Dethklok 13, we call ourselves. That's cool, yes?
No. But it does say that you were working the event as a hot dog vendor. What was the atmosphere like leading up to the show on the ground?
It was quite a hype atmosphere. Murderface's press conference, it got us all hopped up. I've never seen a mind so focused. Murderface is a true American treasure. I previously ran my grandfather's hot dog cart in Sri Lanka. So, because of my prior experience, I got stationed as a hot dog vendor. Lucky me. Toki loves hot dogs, so watching Toki deep throat a hot dog while wearing a worried face, getting condolence hugs from Skwiskar.
The hell is this guy talking about?
Was, well, explosive.
Yeah, I don't know. And when things began to become fatal, how did you get out okay?
Of course, we got out okay. We got into the Dethkopter, you know. We looked around and I like to count people, and there was 13 of us in the Dethkopter. So I said, we are the Dethklok 13, are we not? And we chip-chopped our way right on out of there.
All right. Other than escaping chip-chopping away, was there a highlight of the evening that you recall?
Of course. Maxazillion Wheelblazer was the highlight for me. He's the famous pansexual, you know. He had every kind of pan with him that you could imagine. A frying pan, a saucepan.
Can we hang up on this
He had
guy?
a soup pan, which is different from a saucepan. They're quite shaped differently. He had chicken thigh pan.
The fuck?
He had a Peter Pan movie called Pan. It was a DVD, a picture disc. He also had...
2 hours later.
It was also a picture disc. Oh, he had cakes. A nice stack of pan cakes. Oh, did you know Pan is the genus of chimpanzee? Oh, maybe that's why he is pansexual.
All right, God. That sounds like one hell of a NASCAR-type theatrical event. Seriously, though, thanks for the inside scoop and hail Dethklok.
Hail Dethklok. And remember...
Yeah, fuck that guy. Jesus Christ.
Dude!
Oh my god. Fucking hot
Anyways,
dog vendor.
I'm
Okay,
fine.
dude. I mean, thanks for the call. I appreciate you. But let's try to keep these under 2 hours, guys. Okay?
That was my fault. I mean, like, I could have hung up. I honestly, I forgot it. I forgot it.
You know what? You'll get better at the phones. I believe in you. You got it, man. You're new to this wing of Mordhaus.
Next one's you.
It's okay. As things continued to heat up in this time, we actually started seeing more attacks, but now on the fans. At the Duncan Hills coffee shops, there were several bombings in those months. The last one kind of shook us, though. It felt more close to home, and Oftenson, being the caring overseer that he is, decided to build a hospital for the survivors of these attacks in Dethklok's name.
Yeah, again, good dude. Yeah, absolutely. Foresight's amazing. But yeah, I mean, naturally, I mean, there's deaths, there's injuries at every single show. But this was, unprovoked. And we saw a big step up in just general culture when it came to terrorism defense. All sorts of people riled up.
It was way too personal. It just felt that way. Going after the fans was something completely different. Dethklok would play a benefit concert for these victims of the attacks at one of the hospitals, which was pretty cool to be a part of. This is, more importantly, the second time we see the man with the silver face attack.
Right.
But this time he was not alone. He came with the coward Edgar Jomfru and his teenage sidekick to try to assassinate our lords at the hospital show. Of course, did not even come close to making it.
Right.
Which, it was a scary night. I remember now, after the bombings, we finally knew who our enemies were. They revealed themselves to us. But something funny I do remember about that night was Dethklok was actually sick with summer colds the whole time.
Yeah, no, Nathan got everybody sick.
They were so miserable.
I got sick. Fucking everybody got sick on the whole goddamn wing.
Yeah, they had these weird medical remedies they were having us help with. Leeches, bloodletting, continuous drinking.
Always, absolutely. Hey.
We had a call. Who is it?
Yeah, is this Klokateer 420?
420's on the phone? Where's he been? All right, let's get it.
Pickles! Answer, man, why did you leave me? If you're gonna... Shut up, man, I'm the one dragging you. If you're gonna drop me off with a 300-pound corpse, it'd be nice if you drop me off a little bit closer to the... damn tribe. And you didn't drop me off anywhere close when we were way off.
Hey, this isn't Pickles.
Wait, who are you?
Dude, this is Dethkast.
How'd you get fuck this. How'd you get Pickles' phone?
No, this isn't Pickles at all.
I don't care who you are. Can you get a hold of Pickles? I'm out here dragging this goddamn 300-pound corpse in the Amazon to trade him for some yopo. Do you know where the animangos are?
Yo, can we get some of that yopo?
You want to do yopo? Do you know what that is? Do you know what it does?
Get you high as fuck?
Yeah, by high as fuck you mean teleporting you to the butchering ground where you're the hunter and
Okay,
the hunted.
what the fuck?
Hunting your own flesh only to tear it off to offer it to undescribable gods. While your bones get torn apart by drums and put together by your own brutal will to live, then yeah, it gets you high. You idiot, the Yanamango use it to thin the weak from their drive, man. The ones that don't make it get eaten, but... Why am I telling you this, man? You gotta let Pickles know that... And I'm not that very far away. I'm gonna die, man.
Wait, so you're telling me the band does yopo?
No, the whole band doesn't do yopo, just Nathan does sometimes, and when he wants to test himself, and something about whales, but Pickles, yeah, he does it for fun. He's accustomed to a more refined version that I make. We also drilled holes in his head so he can do more.
So you're making the shit?
Oh, fuck.
Holes in his head?
Yeah, shut up. I make him. Shut up. I have you on speaker.
Dude, you gonna be okay?
No, look, I'm gonna be okay unless you shut the fuck up right now. All right, look, boy, just go back into the earth. It's gonna be just fine. Just go. Oh, fucking shit, no!
Dude, are you okay?
Yeah, fuck, do I sound okay? It's some kind of giant fucking worm just Hold on, I got something for this. It's... Oh, baby.
Dude, he's high as a kite right now.
Yeah, this guy's gonna die.
Yeah. I was saying, yeah, I make drugs for the band. Like, you know, Toki's candied flavored diabetes medicine? Yeah, I make that shit. You know, Chef Pierre? Yeah, I made his painkillers. You know, they were so strong they never went past the first pill. I might have actually put too many nerve suppressors in it. Yeah, it doesn't matter. You know, Dr. Monolith Chesterfield worked with me until he stole my fucking totally awesome Alabama liquid snake formula from my lab. And fuck, he's back. He's using some sort of
what
fucking
the fuck?
serpentine-like maneuver. I can't hit him. Fuck! Look, I need you to tell Pickles that the body was a bad idea. These 300 pounds, you should have airdropped him in. Why am I dragging him? Shut the fuck up. Why am I dragging him through the jungle? You know, if he dies, they're going to give us half the yopo they promised. They're not going to be able to run a McDonald's chain off of a fat... Look, I like the idea of a cannibal food chain, but I don't think a fat guy was the right idea. I just don't think it makes sense logistically, you know? And I also think I attacked the wrong tribe and might have started a war.
Alright, so how did you end up meeting Pickles, though?
You know what? Yeah, I'll tell you, but I think I see them. Come on, you. Well, I met Pickles in Tomahawk, Wisconsin, and he was his dealer because I would make my own drugs. I got a creative knack for chemistry, and you know, a couple of years on tours with them, a couple billions of dollars later, and hundreds of brain collage experiments later, he made me my own lab under the Mordhaus official one. And, I used that to make him unworldly drugs like this here yopo. I got some of my own. I can use this to... Yeah. You ever seen a collage?
No. Brain collage?
It's like that, but with my brain and all the greatest scientists that we know of. I told you I got... But it doesn't matter, man. I need you to tell Pickles that flowers in the bouquet. He'll know what it means. Once I pick this flower, Is this a trap? Oh, fuck. They found me.
What the fuck?
And an atom hanging from a tree. Please give me an evac now.
Evac, man. This is a command center. Like,
yes,
where the fuck are you?
Plant. Same as always. Yeah, fuck, can you let me down? No.
Oh, shit. What are your coordinates, dude?
That works. Oh, great chief, I offer you this plentiful bounty for some
What
yopo.
are your coordinates?
Oh, finally, you ask. Yeah, no, I was gonna take some of the yopo, chief, but... Yeah, no, I'm taking it. Take that. No. Boys, they just gave me yopo. I don't have much time. My coordinates are... This tree, my tree... Oh God, they're eating the. I'm getting kind of hot. Wait, what is that?
We're sorry. You have reached a number that has been disconnected or is no longer in service. If you feel you have reached this recording in error, please check the number and try your call again.
Oh, fuck, dude. Fuck.
Well, that was something.
Is that guy okay?
Yeah, we hope you're okay, Klokateer 420. Thank you for calling in, and thank you for your service to the great clock. Something I should also probably get into. Wow, sorry. I'm a little shook.
Yeah, that was a lot.
Tell you what, I think we should take a moment and pay respect to the Klokateers that have fallen this season.
Right. So far, we've amassed a large tally, and you know, it'd be one of the nicer things I guess we could do. I'm not much for sappy shit, but
yeah, let's do a quick in memoriam. Here are the Klokateers we lost this season. 55789, electrocuted.
99103, crushed by an amp.
11111, trampled by fans.
19898, died of a heart attack during encore. Sick.
Nice. 57755, lost during shipping.
47, killed by... fuck, I didn't know that was public. All right.
Yeah, they need to update this.
So, I'm just gonna... I'm not... All right.
All right.
I didn't know this was public.
You're still here.
I'm alive.
I'm alive. 27853 fell into an acid moat.
78443 committed suicide.
67388 died in a pruning accident.
66661 died retrieving soundboard from lava. What a soldier.
19224 mauled by a polar bear.
11445 killed by collapsed scaffolding.
19225 died in a plane crash.
91119 was impaled by Toki's guitar. But hey, you guys want a cool guitar fact? The Flying V thing, right? So the official record states Flying V as the guitar who impaled 91119. So
oh no way!
It's only implied that it belonged to Toki because he's the only one that uses those. So I mean, like, it's pretty fucking sick. It's like one of the only guitars to ever do that.
That's pretty sick,
right?
332735 dragged away by a falcon.
Whoa. 99989 was killed in a pyro misfire.
896 mauled by kitties.
Good way to go. 4771 died in a plane crash.
113 trampled by fans.
99694 died of the plague. Ew.
Oh god. 47914 shot in the face.
6832 decapitated.
26873 eaten by rats.
9754 died of acute confusional senile dementia.
Oh god. 76543 died of gout.
Too fat. 25322 acquired facial neuropathy.
19234 died of gastroesophageal reflux disease.
81254 died of Pickwickian syndrome.
Ooh. 17112 died of face cancer.
That is gross. 382 died of polycystic ovarian syndrome.
78593 died of, how do you say that word?
Screbus?
Yeah, screbus, I guess.
Ew. 76548 died of a brain bulge metal.
34259 died of Engelmann syndrome.
This is going on a long time. 45002 died of either Bloch-Sulzberger syndrome or incontinentia pigmentii.
All right. 22127 died of Rocky Mountain tick disease.
14572 died of an anti-glomerular basement membrane disease.
And finally, 35803, who was just simply poisoned.
Yeah.
Thank you all, Klokateers, for your service to the great clock. Rest in peace.
Respect.
This season would be one that also tested the boys in a multitude of ways. One of the biggest tests they'd have to pass 47 was the test of romance.
It's time to check in on the boys in the band to see who's dating who. They're living the charmed life with a new girl for each day of the week. But will these bad boys of metal ever settle down? Maybe not. Remember Nate Becca? It was the storybook romance that took a turn for the tragic when actress model Rebecca Nightrod fell down several flights of stairs and landed herself in a coma. But Nathan Explosion stayed by her side through it all. Until it became clear to the public that it was over. Rebecca Nightrod, still in a coma, was spotted in public canoodling with billionaire hotel heir Walt Perkins. The explosion was out of the picture and left behind.
Yeah, that was the time that Nathan put him back on the market again for the second time since the band's inception. And after his love affair with Rebecca, Night Rod turned sour, he decided it was time to get back out again. And, that was good for him, but
yeah,
I don't think we remember how distracted the band with Nathan's dating life after that.
Also, though, you need to bring up the threat of Succuboso Explosion. We kind of see them at the same time when he goes out dating.
Right.
They were a German terrorist group that would claim to be the vessels of the future by planning to kidnap Nathan and force him to breed with them, making a new explosion army, essentially to rule the world.
Yeah.
Obviously, we know this didn't work out, and we should be lucky in advance that Murderface felt like cock-blocking Nathan Explosion in France during that one show.
For fuck's sake.
Yeah. This season also saw the employees in a different light. We got to see a little bit more of the spotlight and have a little bit more attention as you got to kind of peer behind the initiation process of our kind. I was super happy to get more detail on us and our stations and even, the other things we tend to do as an employees. And I will say, I was honored to see that we made it into the documentary. What a lot of people don't realize, 47, about Klokateers is it's harder, the admission process, to be a Klokateer than it is to be a FBI agent or a Navy SEAL.
This shit's fun and games, man. Like, no way. Not only do you have to have a specialty for certain things, you also have to be able to fight to the death.
And that's just the first test. The very first test.
That was a fun fucking day.
Oh, yeah. You match with one other person. You fight each other to the death. Whoever wins is initiated into the second step. Now, you're not a Klokateer yet. You have to go through a bunch of different things. Pretty much, you're thrown into a hellfire pit to fight off demons. They test your mental capacity. They push you to your physical limits. You're even forced to complete a hamburger cook-off.
It's important.
Yeah, it's no walk in the park.
The boys like hanging out outside.
But I think as we've gone through this season, we start to kind of understand more about Klokateers and about the band themselves. With us from the Klokateer wing to maybe help us understand more of how this part of the documentary translate into the prophecy is our resident clockologist, Dr. Linda Perwindinsin von Struesselvich. Dr. Linda?
Thank you, 616. Since our last episode, I have been continuing my research on Dethklok. Every instance from this season of the documentary furthers my previous analysis. From this season, we are given much more proof that the 5 greatest musicians on Earth happen to also be human embodiments of their metal. But they are truly so much more. Let's review, shall we? William Murderface, Hatred. Swizgar, Life. Toki Wartooth, Death. Nathan Explosion, Power. Pickles the Drummer, Indulgence. At the beginning of the season, we saw our masters in a state of peril and paranoia. Through that came the Great Guitar Wars. Toki and Swizgar's legendary argument shook the foundation of Mordhaus, essentially spiraling into a civil war between the Klokateers. Murderface thrived in being a dick, channeling his hatred towards the events, and furthering the chaos involved. At the same time, we see Toki's death touch as his guitar master was killed by his presence, another victim to the embodiment of death. Yes, a lot of this part of the documentary fixates on how the boys deal with their trauma. Be it healthy or unhealthy, it is always guaranteed to be metal. Dethklok has already begun amassing an ungodly amount of power and influence in the world. By the end of this season, they would be the 7th largest economy on the planet, and many major nations' economies would become completely dependent on them, only furthering the band's reach of power. Dethklok engages in a lot more debauchery, drug use and alcohol use than they are normally used to due to this paranoia. They are traumatized from the fan attack at the height of last season, yet a lot of their power manifesting happens to be through this stimulus. Although their power increased with each enemy that arose, and each unfortunate circumstance tossed their way, this period of the documentary and of Dethklok's history is more or less referred to as the experimental phase. Not only had the band begun experimenting with new recording technology, but they had also begun dipping their toes into the world of fashion, and even went on an Amazon spirit journey to get in touch with the natives, and take a psychedelic trip through the use of their drug commonly called yopo. One majorly significant event in this time of the band's history is when Nathan Explosion became the governor of Florida. It was a true time in history that marked a new generation, one where just about anyone in the world could become an elected official if they had the power and influence required. Though there was some opposition, Master Explosion won with a landslide, the result of which would be Florida in a complete state of anarchy. Although this is not much different for Florida, It is now totally metal. It was a true showcase of his shred power and the brutality he can summon with minimal effort. The boys attempted to throw a concert for the state to bring the people together, yet their power was too great and they summoned the largest hurricane ever seen on the coast. The hurricane was dubbed Scrambles the Death Dealer, effectively killing millions of people in the process. It appears their power only grew with each twisted occasion the band was forced into. We see this time and time and again, but we do also notice normal occurrences in this season of the documentary. At one point, Nathan Explosion was back on the market and dating. While this did not last long, it was a major catalyst for the change needed to inspire his lyrics on the new record. We see Pickles deal with the trauma of his family at his brother's wedding, further pushing him down the line of substance abuse, just like when he went on his PR press tour. He was unable to complete the tour without being completely shit-faced the entire time. Yes, it seemed Dethklok was experimenting in a number of ways this season. And while this experimentation did further their reach in the world, it is their attitudes and their personalities that further their power. From Murderface longing for the spotlight and creating a NASCAR-type theatrical event that results in thousands dead, to Toki's dad's death triggering a rush of binge drinking, to Swisscar's never-ending guilt fest and a sudden aura of chaotic energy. Each member of the band not only excelled in their own way, but their music got more complicated, and it was curated on a higher level. Thanks in part to Dick Nubler and the Mordhaus Science Labs. We here at the Clockologist Wing in the Mordhaus believe that this phase in the band's history begins to mould them for their future destinies and prepare them for even bigger challenges ahead. The very end of this season of the documentary brings us a very dark moment with the death of Charles Offendinson. A truly horrid occurrence as the boys realise that the next part of their story is theirs to tell. But things are never what they may seem in this world. The dead man arose. At this point in the prophecy, the band has come together to find their true home, Mordhaus. Raised the great lake troll, Mustakarakish, had seen the death of a holy man, had been tested by those who seek to destroy them, and in that test, the fall of the dead man had occurred. The world was primed for the next phase of the prophecy. And what would that next phase be? How would Dethklok press on without their guardian? Find out next time, on the next Deathcast, we peer behind the veil of what we know and begin to understand the prophecy itself in a whole new way. Together we can decipher this, and maybe have a better understanding of what came next. For the Mordhaus Clockology Department, I've been Dr. Linda Perwindinsin von Struesselvich. Thank you, and hail the Great Klok.
Absolutely, hail Dethklok, and thank you, Doctor, for the really intricate insight.
Always a good time.
Yeah, feels nice to have a smart person on the show.
Right?
After surviving multiple attacks that year, though, the boys were then ready to kind of put pen to paper, get back in the studio, make the new record. And so they were slowly working on the songs like the whole time all of this was happening, but now we're ready to finally put touches on their masterpiece.
The album was not yet ready, and the world, let's just say, was getting restless.
The world is still waiting. Where is the new Dethklok album? There have been many delays and the fans are restless. Some fans have threatened to detonate a stolen nuclear device if they don't hear word of a new album soon. The tension is thick and the world could erupt into violence at any time. Dethklok has promised a deadline. God help us all if they fail to meet it.
I remember this being a really weird time for Dethklok. For one, Toki and Murderface started to feel more left out of the band, naturally, because they weren't really the key writers at this point in history of the band.
Right.
Nathan was trying new things to record, even just suiting up literally in a suit of armor.
That was badass.
Yeah, that was pretty fucking cool. Squidsgar was skydiving out of planes to record his solos and having to do it again because Toki fucking deleted it.
Damn, those were bad.
It was a weird, I don't know, couple of weeks while they were finishing up the end.
Well, they get self-conscious all the fucking time, but when it does, it just feels so weird.
Mm-hmm.
It just feels weird. Vibes weird.
Yeah, sometimes it can feel a bit forced, so it's nice to see them get a groove, though. One thing we were given, though, is the collaboration from Toki and Murderface, and we were asked explicitly to play some of the song. It's not finished, so here's Toki and Murderface taking it easy.
enough of that.
Yeah, that's all we're doing. Okay, we just had to play a clip. We got it out of the way. I'm so sorry.
Honestly, the riff is a fucking jam.
It is not bad, I'll say that. I'm really proud of Toki's producing.
Okay.
Yeah. After the band completed their newest album, they would play a special concert for 40,000 lucky fans at a secret location. I don't know about you, 47, but I remember preparing for that. They didn't tell us shit. We all had to sign multiple NDAs.
Yeah, no, that was completely random, out in the middle of nowhere. I had never seen a stage set like that. They didn't have... I was in no part of that production that day.
Yeah.
I was literally just on the ground production team, trying not to get fucking sucked into the sky. No idea where this shit was coming from, but...
The concert went off without a hitch, though, and the band showcased their most impressive stage yet, the sky-scraping death stage, is what we nicknamed it.
Wild.
Pretty fucking crazy. The show was amazing. I remember everyone freaking out and getting, when they bubbles and they got lifted up into the air in their force fields. It was just, the whole production was a step above what Dethklok had done at this time, and... up until now, you couldn't see that evolution, but to see a show actually like show you the next form of what they can do was crazier than Deathwater, man.
It was absolutely mind-boggling to watch the power, the amount of energy, the amount of force. It was just raw. It was crazy.
The light techs were on game, the sound techs were on game. Everyone made that show special. After the concert, though, the band took their death pods back to Mordhaus, where they were welcomed by a VIP celebrity crowd for a post-concert CD release. And if we only knew then what we know now today, maybe we could have spared some lives of the guests before tragedy struck Mordhaus. As expected, the terrorist cell known as the Revengeancers attacked Mordhaus with a fury unseen as of yet. They used the homemade sonar cannon to take out the force field that Mordhaus had, and we had worked fucking hard on making. With a large number of people that snuck through the actual sewers of Mordhaus into the party, they killed dozens of guests. Luckily for us, though, Pickles and Squidsgar were on game and protected the master of the album with their lives, but no one was able to see what came next. During the firefight in Mordhaus, sorry, I get a little emotional. Our home would actually be set ablaze in the night sky for the first time. And for the first time ever, the black smoke that poured into the sky didn't mark the release of a new album, but the beginning of a new time in the history of the Metalocalypse. The man known as the Man with the Silver Face ended up killing Oftenson with his bare hands after his cowardly sidekick shot him with a crossbow. Edgar Jomfru came way too close to killing our lords, and quite frankly, 47, I'm fucking embarrassed that he did. But luckily, there was a distraction, and we railed his ass, beat him almost to death, and threw him back in the prison on campus.
Hell yeah.
But something happened. For the first time ever, Dethklok was left without a guardian, without a teacher, without a manager, and we didn't know how they would continue in this age of the Metalocalypse without their sworn protector. How would our lords make it through this darkness that covered Mordhaus? And what would it mean for those living in this world? Tune in next time to Deathkast Part 3 as we recall the third season of Metalocalypse in the documentary, with more special guests and behind-the-scenes interviews. Thank you all for tuning in to Part 2. I know I speak for the entire podcast wing when I say I really appreciate all the calls we've received today and the support from the employees and fans. What did you say?
Not me.
Not you. 47's pretty pissed that we said he was dead in the memoriam. We do have to update our records.
Listen, all right. You want it? Okay. It wasn't going to be public. Listen, when we were on tour...
He's getting pissed.
Fucking... Everyone thought I died. It was way easier.
Just to say?
Shit falls all the time. He crushed a dude next to me. We had the same fucking kind of tattoos. Thought it was me. I said, you know what, man? It's a good chance just to be left the fuck alone for a little bit. I obviously came back to work. I'm here. It's fine. I didn't die. All right? I didn't know that shit was public.
All right. We'll let you go this time. I think we do have one last caller. You know what? Let's take this last call.
All right.
Let's see who it is.
I can do that.
Oh, wait. I know who this is. In just a minute, we'll have Klokateer 1840 on the phone with us, who's the executive Klokateer in charge of light bulb replacement and lamp procurement. A fun behind-the-scenes fact is we all used to love pranking him by unscrewing all the light bulbs just until they looked like they were burnt out. Then he'd have to spend the whole day searching around for the right size. Then, I remember we used to tighten them back up before he would get back, so he had to waste his whole day looking for light bulbs. Just some harmless fun. Better times, man. Better times.
That was you, dickbags?
Oh, shit. I thought you were on hold.
Yeah, man. Heard the whole thing. Real fucking funny, dick. I'm on my way to fix that big 10,000 watt Fresnel in the foyer. If I find out you did that, so help me, Klok.
You're still... Never mind. No, man. No, we haven't done that for years, but my bad. So, yeah, I guess we'll get to the questions. So, let's see. Did you have a passion for lamps, or...
A passion for lamps? Gee, sure, I wanted to spend my days in servitude to the greatest metal band of all day, running around, changing their light bulbs unnecessarily, apparently. No, asshole. I have a fucking master's in science and robotics. I was initially branded and assigned to design the steam-powered walking spider stage for Dethklok when they were executing the prisoners. Then I guess some wuss, Klokateer 22217, couldn't handle a little bit of Squizgar mace. And we all know how they fucked that up, which, for the record, I fought Oftenson tooth and nail to have solid flooring instead of grates. But no, grates are more metal, he said. After I was blamed for poor design choices, I got swiftly demoted to that bullshit position. Charles said he'd make it prestigious by adding an executive to the title. But that just meant instead of working with Dethklok, I became Oftenson's bitch boy. He doomed me to buying his crappy lamps at that overindulgent Scandinavian hell on earth that is IKEA. Good French toast, though.
Well, that's my next question.
Nah, man. Go ahead. Ask. I would love to hear your phenomenal interviewing skills.
Did you receive any, formal lamp training?
Oh. Well, actually, I did attend the Interior Designers Institute for my undergraduate degree, and no, cocksucker, I went to fucking MIT. I design robots for NASA, for fuck's sake. Seriously, what a dipshit fucking question. Moron.
Hey, man. I wrote them out before, okay? Listen, hold on. Listen, Brandon, you gotta make sure they don't hear us before we want them to, okay? Sorry, man. I was just thrown off a little bit by our dumbass intern. Let's see what... All right, 1 second. All right. Well, I'm really sorry about this next question.
I'm not sure you're sorry about anything. Glad to see you found another scapegoat, though. Just ask the damn question. I'm sure it's fine.
Okay. Were you really... Oh, my God. Were you able to get out much? What, with all the lamp replacements?
Oh, I got out all right. I got out all the way to IKEA and the Home Repair Supply Center. Remember any of those being close? No, you don't. I had to rappel down to the lake, hop into the death rowboat to land, take the bus, and walk 30 miles to either one. And before your dumbass tries to ask why I didn't just order them online, I told Charles that it'd save me an assload of time if I ordered bulk online. You know what he said? Not on the budget. The budget. For lamps, whose sole purpose was being smashed by the highest grossing bunch of babies of all I fucking can't even. I gotta go. I'm here. I'm at the foyer.
Damn, I'm really sorry, man. I mean it this time. Boss man could be fucking brutal. I should know. But real quick, before you go, what was your favorite memory of this second year of the documentary?
It's okay, man. I get it. We all went through hell. I just had to vent. I guess my favorite memory would be that was the year I discovered lingonberry jam. Really good with the French toast.
Ow! Fuck! Ah, damn it, the whole fixture just cocked me in the fucking hut. Oh, it's my fucking silent tooth. Oh, fuck me, I never got to try them.
We're sorry, the number you have dialed is not in service at this time. Fuck you.
Okay, 47, can you add 1840 to the memoriam? Cause of death, cyanide. Thank you.
Got it.
Dear God, man. I feel bad now for pranking that guy.
Nah. He replaced lamps.
You know, I'm going to go out with some good faith for the listeners. Let's play one more batch of voicemails. I see we've racked up a couple more.
I fucking got them.
Yeah. I know you got them. Go ahead and hit play.
سلام باهي نبدا الدوركا باش نحبكم بزاف نموت عليكم باغي نعلمكم كيف طيبوا تيك توك. اول حاجه ديرها انا تجيب بصلة قطع مليح 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 طيبوا فيه كوكوطه تستنى شويه حتى يطيب مليح مليح زيد طماطيش مقطعه طيبها مليح مليح ومن بعد كي طيب مليح مليح زيد بيض طماطيش تاع باطا وليزي بيس سلام تربح تفو عليك نعمه وهيا لدثكلوك.
This is a message for Nathan Explosion. You think you have visited us because you have found yourself a lover. You assume that the Kobozo explosion is no more, but we are the vessels that hold the future, and the future is coming, Nathan. The future is coming. It is running well, for your loins are destined for a cause. Keep your friends close and your boss closer, Nathan.
Klokateer 888801 here, operator to the HEARD recording system. I can't have kids due to my irradiated balls. But joke's on them. I saved money on my vasectomy because I always fucking hated kids. Thanks, Dethklok.
It's like a circus. What are you guys, a petting zoo where people can touch you and play with your faces? That'd be good. They should have a thing where people have to stand around and I get to go over there and play with your face. Poke it, stretch it out and stuff. You know, rub spit on my hands and fix your hair. There, more like that. Like something like that. That'd be fun. Human petting zoo, right there. Step right up. I'm selling tickets. I still can't believe someone dropped that whole soda. That soda's as big as my leg. Somebody dropped something on the ground over there by that guy with the mustache. I don't even know what, I don't want to know what that is. Somebody put something on the ground and left it there. Hey, clean up after yourselves. No littering. What is that? I don't know. Oh, and also, hey, excuse me. Sir, what's in that bag? That's what I want to know. What is in that bag you're doing? You know? I wonder if it's fabric samples. You're getting some new... You're gonna get some new stuff and you want some fabric samples? I bet that's what it is. Carrying them with you at the boardwalk, Coney Island, maybe. Santa Cruz, I don't know. Bunch of heavy fabric samples, maybe a carpet sample. But you won't tell me, will you? Keep on guessing. Okay, well, most of what I said is...
I was ready to end it all when I thought Dethklok died in that there volcano there. But man, was I stoked when I heard it was their doubles. Hope those guys rot for being posers. Long live the real Dethklok, eh?
God damn it! Man, I think I'm starting to like the phone.